in your own words, what you said to me during the break when I told you about my conversation last night, and we also talked last night, you said Trump has decided to, in your own words.
Take the gloves off. I think he's going on offense. I think, look, the two Bloomberg stories this week, I think, told the story.
Well, you said Trump's going to war.
He's going to war.
Very strong building. Don't forget, that took a big bomb in the basement. Now, the basement is the most vulnerable place because that's your foundation. And it withstood that. And I got to see that area about 3 or 4 days after it took place because one of my structural engineers actually took me for a tour because he did the building. And I said, I can't believe it. The building was standing solid and half of the columns were blown out. I mean, so this was an unbelievably powerful building. If you know anything about structure, it was one of the first buildings that was built from the outside. The steel, the reason the World Trade Center had such narrow windows is that in between all the windows, you had the steel on the outside. So you had the steel on the outside of the building. That's why when I first looked, and you had big, heavy I-beams, when I first looked at it, I couldn't believe it because there was a hole in the steel. And this is steel that was, you remember the width of the windows in the World Trade Center, folks. I think, you know, if you were ever up there, they were quite narrow. And in between was this heavy steel. I said, how could a plane, even a 767 or 747 or whatever it might have been, how could it possibly go through the steel? I happen to think that they had not only a plane, but they had bombs that exploded almost simultaneously, because I just can't imagine anything being able to go through that wall.
Trade Center came down during your brother's reign.
My mother.
Remember that.
Hold on. Let me finish this. He's had the gall to go after my mother.
That's not keeping
Look, I
us
won
safe.
the lottery when I was born 63 years ago and looked up and I saw my mom. My mom is the strongest woman I know.
She should
this
be
is
running.
not about my family or his family.
Okay.
I'm putting a bookend on that, but there's Trump saying, and he owns a bunch of buildings in the area, and he talked to the structural engineer, and he's telling you, I think there were bombs in there. Well, we have the local news with them removing bombs, reporting their bombs in the buildings, bombs in Building 7, not hit by an airplane. Trump knows it all, and he's getting ready to bring it all out. Now, segueing, talking to Roger during the break, he's got a big announcement to make to everybody here about what Trump has decided to do and why we see Kelly headed for the exits. Reportedly, he'll be gone July 31st. Roger Stone, explain what Trump's decided to do for everybody out there.
Well, first of all, there's so much going on. I'd point out that my book, The Bush Crime Family, came out 11 days before that debate in which Trump confronted Jeb about his stand down on 9/11. Now it will all come out. It is very important to note that one of those judges, Brett Kavanaugh, a Bush family favorite who seems to be among the front runners for the Supreme Court, has a minor problem. He is involved in the cover-up of the Vince Foster death. Now, while it has never been established as to whether Foster, a top aide to Bill and Hillary Clinton, the keeper of all their secrets, murdered himself, suicide, or was murdered, I tend to believe that he actually did commit suicide. However, his body was moved by Hillary Clinton and two of her henchmen to Fort Marcy Park. A man named Patrick Knowlton, just an honest citizen, was in the wrong place at the wrong time and saw things he shouldn't have seen pertaining to the dumping of Foster's body, and he was harassed by special counsel Brett Kavanaugh, a cleanup man for the Clintons in shutting down the investigation into how Vince Foster's body got to Fort Marcy Park.
So we definitely don't want him, and we also know Napolitano could be in the running. They also have this lady who is a Christian. That's Amy Connie Barrett. What do you think of her?
Well, she is a stout Catholic. I'm worried about her not being as libertarian as perhaps I'd like. I'd like to see a libertarian on the court to balance the conservatives out. Judge Willett from Texas would be excellent. I'm coming to the conclusion that the president has come to the conclusion that although Napolitano is his emotional favorite, at his age, he is probably too old for this appointment. And there's now discussion about the judge coming back as U.S. Attorney General. an interesting concept.
Ooh, Attorney General. That's right, because that's a 2 to 4 year post instead of we want somebody young. That's why this lady would be great.
Well, and Napolitano is younger and more vigorous than Jeff Sessions, yet we get a younger jurist. I really worry. Kavanaugh is a Bush Republican in wolf's clothing, in sheep's clothing. His involvement with Vince Foster alone, his witness tampering on behalf of the deep state, these matters should eliminate him. But it's important that InfoWarriors not allow him to pose as just a solid conservative.
Now, in your own words, what you said to me during the break when I told you about my conversation last night, and we also talked last night, you said Trump has decided to, in your own words.
Take the gloves off. I think he's going on offense. I think, look, the 2 Bloomberg stories this week, I think, told the story.
Well, you said Trump's going to war.
He's going to war because the story that says now Robert Mueller, according to Bloomberg, will focus on Russian collusion. Pardon me? He's had 2 years and spent $17 million. I thought that was what he was focused on. He's turned up nothing but this one case that's turning out to be an embarrassment to him, the 13 Russians that he can't convict and who are demanding discovery. He has then in a second story, it said he will make decisions about charges against the president, which would have to be included in his final report in the fall, in October. Get it, Alex? October, just before the election.
Incredible.
October. So their game plan is clear. Anyone who thinks this guy is giving up is wrong. He is a deep state hitman on a mission. I am being persecuted specifically because of my role in exposing the corruption of Bill and Hillary Clinton and the Clintons' war on women and the crimes of the Bushes. It's a two-party vendetta to get me because of my support for Donald Trump. That's why I'm being harassed. That's why my Fourth Amendments are being violated as they interrogate.
You've been banned off Twitter. They admittedly have hacked into your emails. Now Skype says you've been banned.
The U.S. Senate wants every email between Roger Stone and Alex Jones. That's something they've specifically asked for, and they shall have. It is all benign. You'll find no Russian meddling. You'll find a lot of truth-telling.
And we'll find, like, here's your plane tickets, or, you know, here's that. But it's such a violation.
You'll find, like, what's the name of that great barbecue place again that we're going to? That kind of thing.
That's actually what's in there, yeah. Oh, my gosh. All right, Roger, thank you so much. Have a great 4th of July. Trump is going to war. We're all in a war. God bless you.
Very special news at the War Room tonight, assuming that we can solve our problem with Skype. It's extraordinary the extent to which the deep state and the tech left is going to harass me. Alex, all of my Skype platforms closed down today without explanation, which is why I reach you by phone. Twitter is manipulating the algorithms at the Stone Cold Truth Facebook page and my personal Facebook page. I post brilliance and I get back 3 reposts.
We have the internal documents. They're doing this to everybody who's affected. That's why everybody's got to work even harder to, by word of mouth, spread the word about Infowars.com, Newswars.com, StoneColdTruth.com. Roger, have a great 4th, and we'll see you tonight on the War Room one way or another.
Most excellent. Many thanks, Alex.
Thank you. Now, when we come back, Paul wrote a great article with the inside intel. We gave you Kit's done one with some points I added. It's on Infowars.com, Newswars.com. Please get this out. This is huge. Trump threatens to release 9/11 docs implicating Clintons and the Bushes. Trump sends warning to deep state. We should probably just add Mueller, Clintons, Bushes, and their minion Mueller. This is huge. And it's up on Infowars.com. So get that out to everybody. Now we're going to go to break. When we come back, abolish ICE vandals throw brick through window of GOP offices, leave graffiti message. More Republicans confronted, and you've got more people being arrested for threatening to kill Rand Paul. Goodness gracious. Think about what Rand Paul's gone through. He's been shot at, a bunch of his ribs broken, physically attacked, and now this.
A few years ago, ideas that we talked about were thought to be fringe ideas, radical ideas, extremist ideas. Those ideas are now mainstream.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
What's Uncle Tom but for white women who disappoint other white women?
One way you get rid of Trump is a crashing economy, so please bring on the recession.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
It has been said that the Republican Party's testicles just dropped. That wasn't an Infowars.com ad you just saw. That was officially put out by the Republican Party. Ladies and gentlemen, they're finally getting the fact that the globalists are trying to start a violent revolution in this country and overthrow it and bring it down, just like Venezuela and so many others that have fallen to socialism and communism. And now Alexandra Cortez, 28-year-old communist, that's her platform. She calls herself a democratic socialist, is another bellwether winning a primary against the Democrat establishment candidate in New York. Ladies and gentlemen, there are few countries that have not fallen to socialism and communism. And that's because the big mega banks that are offshore finance it to bring down countries and control populations and annihilate middle classes. Much of Central and South America are in open martial law right now, with millions of people every year starving to death or being killed. Hundreds of millions are trying to migrate up to North America, threatening to collapse El Norte as well. Meanwhile, in Africa, in the Middle East, the UN and the globalists came in and funded the Arab Spring to bring down moderate pro-Western governments, engage in mass murder, and then turn the countries over to jihadis, further collapsing the area, then opening the borders of Europe up for full invasion. The UN has now openly announced that they are planning to take control of the EU during this emergency and bring in 200 million people that they will control. This is 21st century warfare. This is happening. But the good news is, all over the world, people are waking up to the globalist plan. Thanks to the viewers and listeners of InfoWars who have been recognized by the president, by the Pentagon, and by patriots in our intelligence agencies as being the original emergency beacon that started the chain reaction globally, allowing us to see this worldwide movement of populism, nationalism against collectivism and the big mega banks. But we've got to go further now. We've got to identify the big tech giants and the Fortune 100, the IBMs, the Microsofts, the Goldman Sachs, and others that are worth tens of trillions of dollars and are above the law, who are orchestrating this diabolical plan after oppressing the third world, now collapsing it and using it as a weapon against us. The globalists recognize that InfoWars has been on the very front lines of this global awakening. And they don't want us to be there as this fight intensifies to continue to rally free humans all over the planet against this diabolical globalist program. That's why it's more critical than ever that you understand that we are not supported by George Soros or any big banks or any big corporations. We are supported by you, the viewers, and the listeners that buy the products at InfoWarsStore.com. We need to be re-provisioned in this fight. We need to be able to fund our operation. And we make it easy with products like Super Blue, fluoride-free toothpaste, mouthwash, immune gargle, and so much more, fortified with colloidal silver, fortified with the highest quality iodine, fortified with natural essential oils, and more. You help your teeth, you help your body, you help your gums, you help your country, you help your planet through free market, free association. The products are 50% off right now, going through our super sale that we're going to have on July 4th. InfoWarsStore.com, InfoWarsLife.com. This is where you finance the second American Revolution, with the United States now attempting to stop the global government empire, attempting to take back control of our destiny on a global scale.